Evening, everyone. Welcome to the Toon Review. It is your transfer show tonight on the Toon Review. Hope you guys have an amazing night. I'm joined with Alex. We'd have a little flick through some players, maybe some links to Newcastle United and potential players could be joining Newcastle United. Don't worry, we're not in the know. We don't know if any of these players are coming to Newcastle United. I'm pretty sure you heard that. Alex is wearing the shirt right there. We are not in the know of any players coming to Newcastle United. They're just linked. So we'll have a look at them to any new viewers who don't know what's going on. We're going to run through a few comments. Alex is going to do what he does normally, go through the players, and I'll read a few comments out of you guys of what your thoughts are on the players. Evening, Paul. Very good evening to everyone. Very good evening to you, Paul. Hope you're doing well. Craig Hope saying we only have 75 million to 100 million tops again to spend. We won't get 4 or 5 top first teamers for that money. Be lucky to get Barella and Maddison for 100 million. We don't know about that, though. We don't know about that. Evening, Jocks. It's Ian. Evening, Ian. Michael Purvis. Even if we pay 70 for Barella and 50 for Maddison, even out of the 150 made-up budget, if we get rid of a few players, we still have money for AFI back. Imagine imaging the team then. If we pay 70 for...
I hurt my brain to read that. I don't know what that means.
I was reading it. I was reading it. I mean, the first bit, the Barella and the Maddison made sense, but then when it went to 150 made up budget, I got a little bit confused. But we'll move on from that. Where's to say, even in TTR farm, there's so many links, cannot keep up. There's something in the air. I can just feel it. Big signs incoming. It's not going to be long, Alex, till we make our first signing. It's pretty known already that we're not messing about going in for Barella on the first day of the transfer window. Clearly, obviously, we're not messing about. So we'll get our business done early.
I don't know if we'll get it done early, maybe, but you can certainly see the sort of pond we're trying to fish in. Whether we'll get there, I don't know. But the fact that we've been linked with Szoboszlai as well, I think we're aware that he's got a high release clause. I think it's like 70 odd million. So the fact that we've looked at him and we know what the release clause is means we have considered paying that at some point or another. We are aware that Barella is a sort of 50 to 80 million pound player, peak age midfielder who's just started in a Champions League final, a mainstay of the Italian national team. So it does look like we're looking at that bracket. We're looking at above 50 million pounds for a midfielder. That seems to be where we're shopping. So it's very exciting.
Indeed. And just to touch on what Alex said there in the private chat, there's a comment on it here as well. There's a comment. Apparently, Spurs have asked for Maddison and Barnes for 50 million. Yeah, it did say that in Sky Sports today. So clearly, Spurs are. It said that we are winning the race, Alex, but Spurs are making the move, it seems like.
Well, every day it changes, doesn't it? It keeps saying that they're in the lead one day, we're in the lead the next. Like, none of this makes sense to me in terms of who's in the lead. It's not an auction, although transfers can become that to a point. I don't think it really matters, to be honest. I think that's a stupid bid. I don't understand it at all. It's just flat out going to be rejected by Leicester. Barnes is a cracking player. Maddison's a cracking player. Sell them separately for much higher fees, like individually. I don't even know why Spurs have done that. It's a waste of time. It's not even, sometimes you can make a bid to try and drive the price up for a player, but it's not even such a low ball offer. It just makes no sense. It just makes Daniel Levy look a bit stupid, to be honest. I don't get it.
It's not like he wasn't stupid in the first place, let's be honest. Anyway, Shane's off to Florida on Monday, but we're still staying up to date with the best Newcastle fan channel. Indeed, Shane, and enjoy Florida. Very hot over there. Very, very hot over there. Despite it being hot, it's very. There's a lot of storms out there as well. When it storms in Florida, Jesus Christ, does it storm? The rain comes piling down. Now, we do want to mention something really, really quickly. We've had a little link to a player just recently from Fabrizio Romano, saying about. Shall I pull up? I'll pull up. Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, we've literally just pulled up Twitter pre-show just to make sure we've not missed anything. If there's any breaking news, I've not seen this yet because I've literally just come home from work and seen that Romano's tweeted. So we are in talks, apparently, as far as Romano is concerned. He said he understands that we are in talks officially for 16-year-old defender Leo Sahar, part of the England international setup. I've just had a little few clicks around on FBref and SofaScore. He doesn't come up with anything, so I'm not sure if he's got any senior minutes or if I don't think he's represented Wolves in any cups or anything. I could be wrong, but he's not got any data on the sites that we normally use on this show. So I've just heard about this. I'll have to go and have a dig. But anybody who's making appearances at international level in the youth levels means they've got some good quality. So it's impressing, hoovering up the young talents, and I imagine he'll just go straight into the academy setup, ready to be utilised in 3 to 5 years, hopefully.
Yeah, very hopefully. I mean, there's no data, guys, to show what Zaha is like. But I suggest after this live stream is finished, we go watch a few highlights if there are any on YouTube, and then we can, like Alex said, have a little bit of a dig and see what he's like. But our future is.
It's like Ashby, really. There wasn't a lot for Ashby, but most of the highlights for him were all youth games. To be fair, for West Ham, so it was kind of hard to figure out if he was, kind of what he was like.
But our future is looking bright. Our future is looking good. I mean, it's a bit like Arsenal. I mean, Arsenal, they brought in a few youngsters. But I mean, I don't think as many as we brought in. I mean, we're bringing in some bloody youngsters, and our future is looking very good. Next is here, Alex. Have you looked at Xavi Simons over the past few weeks? Seen a few links of him of late.
Yeah, I think we've talked about him in passing because he's had an incredible season with PSV. PSV, as we meant to say, Eindhoven. Yeah, I've not had a look specifically for our transfer show. Has he been linked with us? I've not seen any links. I mean, if you guys see links like that, please send them my way on Twitter, because I've not seen him linked. But if he's been linked by any sort of publication, then it qualifies him for a transfer show. Obviously, today we're looking at more free transfers generally. But yeah, if you find some links, just send them across. People message me loads of stuff all the time, and I really appreciate it. It obviously helps me put things together for shows, with limited time. So please do.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Is Barella the same type of player as Bruno? And if so, do we need two of the same? Now, Barella is, from what I've seen of him, he does like a good tackle and he does get forward quite a bit. And he's more of them sort of like get back and get forward type of midfielders. But him and Bruno, side by side, would be absolutely incredible, wouldn't they, Alex?
Yeah. I mean, this is where Luke Edwards got a bit of stick yesterday from people in the football world who were sort of in the football world, like journalists and coaches and stuff, because Luke Edwards' article was talking about how they needed a 6. And Barella's not a 6. He's an 8 or a 10. He plays a lot more further forward. He's always looking for that final dangerous pass into the box. Now, we know Bruno can play that dangerous pass, but Bruno profiles much more as a 6. He's very confident and comfortable sat as a single pivot on his own in front of a back four. He doesn't care about the pressure. He'll nutmeg people pressing him when he's in front of his own box. We've seen that several times last season. Whereas Barella's a very different player, a little bit more energetic, a bit more mobility, a little bit faster, more dangerous, aggressive passes, plays higher up the pitch. So they do profile quite differently, but they're just both very technically, proficient players.
Yeah, indeed. I hear Kulusevski rumours. We did, Billy and Alex did have a look at him in the previous transfer show. So after this finish, go watch that, and then you can see Alex going through all the data of Kulusevski. But he has been linked, and we have had a look at him in previous shows. I think we'll go in for an improved and more realistic bid for Barella. There is that option. I mean, like Paul said today in his video, Fabrizio Romano, he hasn't really come out and said that the deal's off, or hasn't said the deal is down in the mud. We're still in talks. We're still remaining interested in Barella, and whether Newcastle are going for a different offer for Barella, we yet to know. But that is the best thing about the transfer window, because we just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, that Barella one came out of nowhere, didn't it, Alex? Came out of nowhere.
Well, it was rumored last week from Italian sources, but then it gathered pace very quickly. You would imagine it was like a particular source spread the message somewhere, and it got wind for, like, Romano got wind, and Sky Sports and everything got wind, and it was and the Telegraph specifically, they picked up the story. But there's a lot of other publications denying it, and there's also a lot of in the nose denying it and saying, I've not heard this. I'm hearing the opposite. So, it's difficult because Romano and Sky Sports have gotten things wrong in the past, and the in the nose get also a ton of things wrong. So it's just about whose sources are more reliable. And I don't think the rumors mean anything. I think all the rumor is we've looked at the player officially. I think that's it. It's nothing more than that. It's not. We're not at any advanced stage, so there's not really anything to get excited about, apart from the fact that we are looking at people valued around that sort of price. That's quite exciting because it means we're probably trying to go for somebody of that caliber, but we'll see.
It's exactly what Dan Brown says here. Romano seems to think we've not even spoken to Inter yet, so people got way too far ahead of themselves. Well, yeah, we haven't even approached Inter yet. We've just shown interest.
Romano's probably got different mates than Downey and Sky Sports does. It doesn't mean anybody's wrong. It means that they've just got different information from different people. We just don't know.
Romano's probably got more reliable than Keith Downey, because he is an Italian journalist. He is I won't say Italian journalist. I think he's Italian, so he's normally around them areas, and he's probably got a bit more in depth towards his Italian mates. But we'll see. Only 1 year on his contract, though, says England is mine. England is yours. Okay. I hope Christmas will come very early for Newcastle United. Indeed, I mean, speaking of the new fixtures, Alex, I mean, I know you just haven't. I'll talk about it then. New fixtures,
right.
August. I mean, the new fixtures in August. I heard we got Aston Villa first, 5:30 kickoff. We're actually live for once. Apologies for the dogs. We've got Aston Villa first, live at St James's Park. Then we've got Man City away, and then Liverpool at home. So yet again, same as last year. We've got Man City and Liverpool in the same opening month. It'd be good to get them out of the way, won't it, Alex? And then September's looking a little bit more calmed down for Newcastle.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit harsh from the Premier League to do that to us. I think it's on purpose. It puts a lot of pressure on Eddie Howe as well. If you remember the start of last season, we had, we didn't pick up too many points early doors. There was a lot of draws. We beat Forest, and then it was a little bit wobbly. It took a while to get going, and then we got a nice winning run that we put together. But the first, cluster of games, we weren't winning tons of points. But it was still healthy. And this time round, it looks like they're trying to obviously make it as difficult as possible for us. Villa, they beat us 3-0 the last time we played. Obviously, at home, we are a completely different beast entirely. But it's the Man City and Liverpool fixtures. Yeah, regardless of where Liverpool finish this season, well, one place behind us, it's going to be real tough. And it does put pressure on Eddie Howe, because of the first 5 fixtures, if we struggle, Villa, City, Liverpool, and Brighton, even if we play well, we could still come out of that with not many points. Or we could continue as we've done, and we could take way more points than we expect. We could beat one of City or Liverpool, and then we could potentially win a few of the other games as well. But it's a roll of the dice, really, with some of those teams, especially against Man City. It's a roll of the dice. We need to turn up and just hope they have a slightly off day, because us at 100% and Man City at 100%, they win. We just need to hope that we can turn up enough and they're off the pace a little bit. Because I felt we had a better game than them at the start of last season, and we still ended up drawing 3-3. They just got a little bit lucky with a John Stones goal off a funny bounce. These things happen. So I just hope that we don't get sort of 5 or 6 weeks into the season, we're not on as many points as people would expect, and everybody starts going, and start questioning how. That concerns me a little bit. But I think our owners are very, very switched on, and they'll be aware of the difficulty of the fixtures. And it's the same as what happened to Patrick Vieira. Is he got binned off he did like a really difficult run of fixtures and then got binned off for not doing very well. Well, of course not. You're playing all the harder fixtures in a cluster. It's not always fair necessarily. It doesn't mean it doesn't. You've got to look at it as a season, as a 38 game season. You can't look at like a period of 5 games because it depends who you play. Oh, you're on mute, Jack.
Did that for the dogs. Thoroughly, from the whole fixtures, I'm happy. Yes, I would have rather wanted to be at home at the end of the season because you can't be at home game at the end of the season, depending on how the season's gone.
Who have we got at the end? We've got
Brentford away.
Yeah,
so that's going to be an interesting game. But next season is going to be very, very interesting. Relegation battle is going to be good again. What's going to happen with the Europe, we don't know. But it's going to be a very, very interesting summer window. I think we've got the first player up, Alex. Is that the first player?
It is, yep.
All right, we'll bring it up then.
So,
Obite Ndika.
Yeah, Obite Ndika, I think that's how we say it. I'm not sure if he's accounted for or if he's going anywhere. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody in the chat, but he is... his contract is set to expire in 2023. So, I mean, I feel like it's worth me just having a little look just to double check this because I'm not 100% sure, but we can check. I don't know if he's promised to anywhere else, although it does say Roma 100%. Does that mean he's going? Does that mean he's definitely going? Who knows? I mean, it's a bit concerning the fact that this is 100%. So he might already have been snapped up potentially. So take this with a pinch of salt. We'll just look at him for 2 minutes anyway. We've looked at him a bunch of times before anyway. He was in the list when we were looking at Botman and Schlotterbeck and a bunch of other, Bremer and all those kinds of young centre halves. So he's still with Frankfurt. He never actually sort of left, and now he's approaching 24 years old. Still profiling extremely well. 6'2.5", a beast. He's left-footed. He's been playing very well for Frankfurt. Frankfurt have been a good team for a number of years now, playing all the minutes in the Bundesliga, lots of minutes, lots of Champions League minutes as well. And if we scroll down, we can have a little look at how he's profiling. Not quite as good as he was once upon a time, but it's still very respectable nonetheless. It's a nice more sort of average spread. He's not spiking incredibly well in any area, but I would say he's above average in most areas. His passes are really, really tidy. His progressive carries are really healthy as well, especially for a left-sided player. Shots, he's even getting some shots away, and his defensive contributions in terms of physicality, blocks, clearances, and aerial just one are really, really nice. Profiles, Jonathan Tah. I know Paul likes Tah. Varane, Barda on there as well. So you've got some really, really good players he's connected to. I don't think we'll go for him. I don't think we'll go for a left-sided player. And I'm pretty sure he's going to Roma. So
yeah,
it looks like that.
This is down for Roma.
Are they saying he's down for Roma? Yeah. Okay. Well, It does say 100% on transfer marks, but it is one. So merry-go-round. Who knows if he goes to Roma? Does somebody from Roma leave? But it's worth actually looking at him, whether we get him or someone else gets him. But this is one of the players who's going to be on the move and part of that merry-go-round this summer. So there you go. We might as well get rid of him now.
Get out. Get out the screen. Highlight's doing a great job, Jack. What I meant was 120 million for Barella, and Maddison wouldn't even take up the rumored budget available. Plus, selling a few players would free up a little bit money would free up money for a left back. We do need a left back. That is a certain, because we know Dan Burn is not going to be the end prize in left back. So we definitely will need another left back. Luton 23rd December, Forest 26th of December, and Liverpool 30th of December. Anfield away is going to be a very interesting battle. It's going to be very
Anfield
interesting.
away. Well, we can't have Anfield at home, can we?
No, 30th of December. That's away.
No, it's fine. Continue.
That's gone straight over my head. But yeah, very interesting fixtures. Forest 26th. Very, very interesting. We know Forest don't really like coming to St James's because we always do them one over. Well, especially after last year as well. But yeah, very interesting season up ahead. I think the fixture should be worked out via someone seeding out or position in the league previous season. So high seeded teams play each other last. I mean, I think it's just a mixture in the pot, and then it's just a mixture of teams. But I'm happy with Villa first. I'm happy. I mean, we could have got even worse. I mean, we could have got worse teams, but we're Newcastle now. I mean, we can play anyone. I mean, it doesn't matter who we play. I mean, we're not like where we were a few years ago, where we dreaded playing Man City. I don't dread playing Man City anymore. And bear in mind, we're gonna have a few more players in before the season starts anyway. So it's going to be very interesting. Then the chat's going Roma. Yeah, people saying he's gone for Roma. Yeah, $5 million deal. Ndika going to Roma. Pretty sure he's gone to Roma. Yeah,
5-year deal. Wow.
5-year deal, indeed. Like Paul said earlier, I think it could be a good time at the start of the season to get City out of the way, and be great to beat the Scousers. I mean, nothing's better than beating the Scousers. They're doing one over on Liverpool, especially at St James's. Like Alex said, St James's, we're a different beast. Nothing compares to Newcastle United playing at St James's when St James's is in full voice. Nothing compares to it. Nothing. We've got a second player up, Jonathan Bamba.
Yeah, Jonathan Bamba. So we've not actually looked at Bamba before, surprisingly. But he is a very, very tidy player. I'm not sure if he's a little bit older than a sort of wide forward that we would be looking at. I mean, his profile is great. I'm not so sure we'd be looking at 27. Oh, I think that's a bit harsh because we've looked at 25, 26. I don't know why we wouldn't look at 27 just because he's ticked over like 100 days. It's 81 days. But yeah, so plays for Lille. Obviously, we've done business with Lille recently with Botman. So there's a connection there in terms of transfer arrangements in recent history with the owners. He's on a modest wage at the moment. Obviously, that would be greatly increased if he's going on a free, because he would want to be sort of compensated for the fact that the club get to sign him for free. He would ask for considerably more in wages and maybe even a signing on bonus, things of that nature. But to be fair, the initial salary is quite low. So, we could sort of get him up to where our sort of highest earners are, or maybe just sort of a category under that, maybe. So 5'8.5", quite a slight winger who plays on the left. So sort of a maxi kind of position, left wing, right-footed. 6 goals and 7 assists. So quite a lot of output, to be fair to him, for 2,700 minutes, from 8 XG and 6.5 expected assists. He's been shortchanged a little bit with goals. I should have had a couple more, really, with his 8.2 XG. A lot of appearances there with 34, so he's been involved quite a lot. Let's scroll down and see how he profiles. So very, very impressive here with the progressive passes and carries. So really, really impressive for a winger to be having that many progressive passes as well. His passing is really, really clean and tidy. His output, he's profiling really nicely. The shot creating actions is sort of around average as well. Defensive work rate is very, very good. He's a good presser of the ball. And he's profiling very, very flatteringly here with Solimarch, Foden. I know people don't like Anthony, but still, Mitoma. So you've got a lot of impressive players on this list. So he's profiling really, really well. Where he's been in his career, it's France. It's all France, but he's been at Lille for a few years now. Obviously, he got that famous Serie A trophy. Serie A? What from? God, I've had like a story there. Serie A, bloody Ligue 1 trophy. The same year Botman won it, so they won it together. So he will have a friend there. In terms of where he plays, we can have a little quick tiny look. So even though he's a right-footed left winger, you can see how they use him in various roles. Here's a game where he was up front next to Jonathan David. Got through a lot of work rate there. You can see he does veer off to the left a lot more because that is typically where he's meant to be playing. Got through a lot of work, tried some crosses, long balls, physicality kind of half and half there. He managed to get 4 free kicks for his team, which is great. Just one of these kinds of players. High work rate. I'm just not so sure we'd go for somebody like him. We might do to supplement our push. I would be surprised if we don't at least try and sign someone on a free, at least a player. I don't know why we wouldn't try, because we've got to try and make the penny stretch with FFP. Jamie Rubens obviously talked about this on his recent podcast appearance. If we can get a reasonably good quality player in on a free and just supplement that with a bonus and wages, then why not? We could do with a bit more depth. This kid looks like he's very good as a versatile wide forward option, could play all across the front line. Same sort of way as Anthony Gordon does, but this guy's 27, has won the French league and has a lot more sort of history and pedigree, and could make an impact right now, whereas Anthony Gordon still has a bit of learning to do potentially.
Indeed. Well, Ian McKenna knows what he thinks of them. Bamba Gascoigne. Bamba Gascoigne indeed, says Ian. Yeah, it seems like a cracking player, Alex. Cracking. What, 5'8" is he? 5'8"?
Yeah, it's just the age that I'm not so sure about. For some reason, I've got in my head that they'll go for somebody 22, 23, maybe 24. I feel like they'll try and go for a younger, versatile, sort of wide forward that can kind of play all three positions, kind of like João Pedro, but he's gone to Brighton. So I just feel like that's what we will look for. Maybe not. We might wait. And not get anybody this window. We might do it in January, or we might do it next year. Because obviously we've got Isak and Wilson, so they might not pull the trigger this season for that kind of signing. We'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see, indeed. Even Alex and Jack, how are you keeping, lads? I'm not doing too badly. I hope you're doing well as well. We need to turn the draws into wins next season. I mean, them draws. Some of them draws were, like, for example, Arsenal away, planned draws, where we actually planned them, went with a game plan, succeeded. Arsenal fans cried. But some of them draws, like the Crystal Palace one, frustrating. Bournemouth, frustrating. Very, very frustrating draws. But, I mean, you can't go without one season unless you can't. Even Invincibles have to draw as well. I mean, you're going to have to draw because some teams just play the same and some teams have to come together and draw. So I think we had too many draws. I mean, if you turn a lot of them draws into wins, we could really be up there last season. But, hey, we'll, mark my words, we will be even better next season. We'll be even better. Third or second is what we're aiming for. Hi, I'm a bit late, says Carl. No worries, Carl. You're here now. Hi, Alex. Gone through DiMarco before. He's been linked with us today, says Chi Yong-Foon.
No, I haven't. However, I did see the links today on my lunch break, and he's definitely going to be in the next transfer show because he's awesome. Anybody who watched the Champions League final, he had a great Champions League final, in my opinion. I think he's a great player.
I know. DiMarco.
He's the one with the blonde hair.
Yeah, the blonde hair. Did he play at the back or midfield?
No, he's a defender, yeah.
Yeah, play at the back. Yeah, he did seem quite good. I mean, I didn't really watch a lot of it, obviously, because of reasons. But, yeah, he seems all right. I mean, when I watched the highlights of the Champions League,
we'll save him for a transfer show, definitely.
Yeah, we'll save him for the transfer show. So click that notification bell. I want to stay tuned for any further transfer shows because the transfer window is open. So we are definitely moving on with the transfer shows, and we are bringing them out even quicker than you guys imagined. Even Madison on his way yet. His international break, mate. I'd imagine. I mean, we can still do a deal with him on international break, but I think there'll probably be more concrete news after the international break. But not yet, mate. Not yet. Hopefully, very, very soon. Shi Yong-Foon, where are you based? Says Ian A. Gundo for me, 100%, says Mats. Tom's got a little song here. When you mean League Francis, but you say Serie A, that's Castore.
Oh, yeah, I know. That was terrible. It's a good thing Paul wasn't here.
What, my pronunciation?
No, because I said he won a Serie A title when he was at Lille, which is in France. So you can't win a Serie A. It was my mistake.
Did you say Serie A? I
did, yeah.
All right.
I had a blunder.
Yeah, Castore. Yeah, Castore. Oh, sorry, Castore. Apparently, it's not really called Castore. It's called Castore. So we'll call it Castore from now on. Anyway, we've got the player up now. Raphael. For God's sake. I've heard it before. I've signed him on FIFA too many times. Raphael Guerrero.
Yeah, Rafael Guerrero, however we're meant to say this.
I've signed him on FIFA a lot of times.
So I'm gonna sort of put what's the right phrase for this? Water on the flames, however we're meant to say this. I think he's sort of pretty much nailed on to go to Bayern Munich. But I don't think it's 100% confirmed. I think it's just very, very, very likely. Obviously, it depends what they decide to do with Cancelo, whether they want to sign him permanently or what's going on with that situation. And depending on what happens there, they may or may not commit to this. He would be free, of course, so well, why not? He's already in Germany. There's a lot of people do the sidestep from Dortmund to Bayern and vice versa. They hate each other, but they seem to swap players all the time. Very peculiar. So he does play for Portugal, but he was born in France in Le Blanc-Mesnil. I don't quite see this one happening. I think the general consensus is that we'd like to bring the average age of the squad down. There was a lot of people posting. There were a few articles tonight about the age of our squad. There was somebody did an article today that we've got the 4th oldest squad in the Premier League, which is quite shocking when you consider that we've added Botman, who was really young, and Isak, who's really young, and Gordon, who's getting minutes, who's really young, and we've put Anderson in, who's really young, and Willock's like 23, and we've still got like the 4th oldest squad in the league. That's quite concerning. So we do need to make an effort to bring the average age down a little bit. I saw a lot of people naively sort of saying, "Oh, but Inter just got to a Champions League final and they profile really old." Yeah, all right, fine, whatever. But I feel like we need to bring some younger players through, but they can't all be 30. We need some continuity there. So this guy being 29, obviously we've got Matt Targett and Dan Burn that are, Targett's 27, Dan Burn's over 30. So I can't see us bringing in a 29-year-old. I'm going to poo-poo this one straight away. But we'll look at him anyway for 2 minutes. 12 assists. He's a freak, absolute freak. 12 assists, 4 goals. I mean, it's more than Trippier. I know it's in a slightly, you could argue the Bundesliga is a bit easier to defensively. But still, that is immense output. Champions League experience as well. Wages aren't too prohibitive. If we scroll down and have a little look, I mean, that's just bonkers. It is purely bonkers. It's all green. It's all green. It's mental. And when you look at who his profile is like, the number 9 there is Borna Sosa, somebody that we talk about quite a lot, who's really, really impressive. Estupiñán for Brighton. You've got Dimarco there. You've got Cancelo, Jordi Alba. You've got Trent is in there as well, and Mela. You've got some really, really, really good players. And you can see by the green. I don't need to explain what the green means to you. You can all see that he's very, very good in every regard, whether it's ball progression via passing or carrying it, successful take-ons, how his passing is, his shot creating actions for creating shots for the teammates. His shot volume for a fullback is freakishly high, and you can see he spikes in interceptions, which is a bit peculiar, just in the one. But Dortmund are a very dominant team in the Bundesliga, so you wouldn't imagine him to have crazy high sort of defensive output there, because they have most of the ball, and this guy plays probably quite high up. I just don't see it happening. I think they've probably got Bayern Munich written all over it. So I think we're not going to look any further than this. We'll leave him there. Guerrero, amazing player, but probably not going to get him. So we'll see.
I mean, like I said in my career mode, I love to sign Guerrero. I love him. In FIFA career mode, don't really matter. Depends how much money you have in FIFA career mode. I always sign him, but I tend to sign Ferland Mendy now because he's younger. And he's a better looking left back. A very youthful looking Toon review panel tonight. Why, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll take them as compliments, Adam. We'll take them as compliments, of course, of course I'm looking young because I am. Anyway, Dimarco is a massive Inter fan. Barella is a Cagliari fan, if I've said that right, and may be willing to move. Dimarco is extremely difficult to convince, but would be class. This is Phoenix Fire. Where's that comment gone? Can we talk to more than one player at a time? I suppose. I think it means
why wouldn't we be able to do that?
Yeah, I think it means can we negotiate with like Madsen and then still negotiate and then negotiate with Barnes at the same time? That's probably what he's saying.
I don't know. I think maybe he means like players that are going to be in potentially the same position. I mean, of course you can. It's just It depends. It's politics. It's a big game. It's all a big game. You know, if some certain agents get wind that you're looking at 5 players for the same position, maybe the player gets in a huff about it, and if you've told him that you're the number one pick for that position in a little meeting, but then you've also got 4 players on the radar that's been heard about by other agent talk, and it's, you know, it is literally like Coronation Street, but, you know, football. It's crazy. It's all politics and drama, and we'll have to see what happens. I'm sure we've got a lot of plate spinning at the moment.
I'm hearing leaks about Rafael Leao. Well, you know who to come to if you're hearing leaks. That man's Twitter right there.
I'm not sure who Rafael Leao is, though. I'm assuming we mean the AC Milan winger.
I'm pretty sure Elad Bass will come back to us on that. But I'm pretty sure he means Rafael Leao. If he's not, then bloody hell, who is that? But yeah, Clarky makes a good point. Leao just signed a new contract. Indeed, he has just signed a new contract. I think it's a very long contract as well. I mean, it's definitely with Rafael Leao.
I challenge someone to spell his name right without Googling it. If you spell it right without Googling it, then I will be very impressed. That's not right either, is it?
Is that not right? Is that not right?
That's not right. There you go. So somebody in the chat, see if you can spell his name without Googling it.
Rafael Leao.
Yeah,
Rafaelleao is how you spell his name.
But it's also a special character.
Is it?
It's not. Of course it is.
Oh, right. Anyway, we're getting off topic. But yeah, indeed, he has signed a new contract. So, Elad, I'm pretty sure we are not getting Rafael Leao. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Soyuncu, or Kagla Soyuncu.
Yeah, so I know this is not going to be a very... I'm glad Paul's not on the show because he would be terrified of this.
He hates his man bun. He hates his man bun.
We've got to look, haven't we? He's a free transfer, so we've got to give him 2 minutes, and it will be a brief 2 minutes because it is a no from me right at the start. When he first went to Leicester, I thought he was really good. He was really solid for 18 months, 2 years, and then his form fell off a cliff. There were a number of people within the Leicester back four that were quite error prone. It was a combination of Kasper Schmeichel before he left, obviously being a bit error prone, Soyuncu as well. And it just, the quality just kind of all went at the same time. It was quite unlucky. I think Leicester were a little bit unlucky, to be fair. However, he's available now. What do we do with him? Do we want him? Probably not. 27 years old. He's not too old. Wages are very moderate. He profiles well. He's a right-footed centre half who can play left side. He's 6'1". He's fairly solid, but he's not played a lot of minutes this season. 500 minutes. In terms of how he's profiled when he's played, progressive carries are okay. The passes aren't there. Leicester, obviously, we saw the drop off in quality for Leicester when they came to St James's Park. This is a club that were playing European football relatively consistently over the last 5 years, and they came to St James's Park and just they were happy to have 20% possession. It was pathetic. Defensive output's high. No. I just.
It says here, Alex, about Soyuncu. He's going to Atletico Madrid.
Oh, is he actually?
Yeah.
Is that confirmed?
That was done early May, actually. It's a pre-contract until 2027, actually. So I think he's going to Atletico Madrid. Someone mentions it in the chat just about here. It said that he's going to Atletico Madrid.
It doesn't say anything on Transfermarkt. You could be right, but there's no information about it here.
Here you go. The chat saying that.
I mean, the pedigree there with 53 caps for Turkey as well is insane. I can't believe how much he's dropped off quality-wise. But, I mean, if he's earmarked for someone else, fair enough. I don't particularly want him. I think, we're stuck a little bit with Jamal Lascelles. Jamal Lascelles has put in a few good performances. and we're lucky he's been happy to settle for a place on the bench. We've used him when necessary because his profile can be useful against the right team. And we used him a couple of times where we needed to, but we don't want another Jamal Lascelles on the bench. Like, we've got one, and I think that would be sort of a similar quality player. And it's just, if he's available now, I'm sure another team could pick him up.
Well, Fabrizio Mano says here, and this was the 26th of April, Kagawa Soyuncu has signed with Atletico Madrid. Here we go, confirmed. Deal was agreed in January, and it's now sealed as Turkish centre-back will join Atletico in the summer as a free agent. Soyuncu's contract will be valid until June 2027.
I could probably see him doing quite well at Atletico, to be fair. Probably clean up some mistakes and be a bit more solid.
Relatively smart signing. We'll have to see how he does. But anyway, we'll quickly move on from Soyuncu for Paul's sake. But I'm not a fan of the man bun either, but he rolls how he wants to. My new shirt is on its way from the club. I hope I'm not disappointed. I ordered mine last Sunday, the day it got launched onto the site, and it's still not here. So hopefully it's coming either tomorrow or this weekend or early next week. So I'm really desperate for that shirt. Very, very desperate. Because I know people are talking about the print on the badge. I personally don't really mind because you're not really going to see it from afar unless you zoom in on the badge. But hey, Newcastle's Newcastle. Newcastle. It's Castor. What do we expect from Castor? But anyway, we'll get Adidas sooner or later anyway. So not much to worry. Toon signed anyone? Been out of the loop. Well, we signed Minter, but he's gone straight up to the final. But no one really, as we've known, no one has signed. But I mean, Alex, have you seen these few things from Wilson and Maddison? These few little pictures. I mean, Wilson's playing pool with Maddison, and there's a photo right here. Wilson joking about Maddison. I have a feeling there's something there, and they know what they're doing.
I mean, I think the little caption that someone put about my number 9, I think that was fake. Somebody's obviously edited that on. I don't think that was from Maddison himself. I mean, they're friends. They're both from Cov. They know each other. I think they know that it gets people's interest. I think they know, they understand what they're doing. They're doing it for a bit of a giggle. I think they're like, oh, let's just post a few pictures together. Whether it's happening or not happening, we just don't know. But I don't know. We'll see. It's nice to see. To be fair, it is lovely to see some of our lads back in the international setup, and then players that we're linked with also there. It's lovely to see because there was a period of time where it was just absolutely sod all. I mean, we had Andy Carroll, and then that was it. And then Stephen Taylor got a call up and didn't play. But now we've genuinely got like a bunch of internationals at a decent level. We've got Joelinton and Bruno out. We've got Trips and along with Wilson, and then Pope, obviously when he's not got when he's not had a hand surgery, and Isak with Sweden. It's just lovely to see. It's really, really refreshing.
Yeah, it is. Andrew Sinden says here, PSG looking to sign Dan Burn. Well, I swear yesterday's extended his contract by 1 year. Am I right in saying that, Alex?
What, Burn?
Burn, I swear he's just triggered his contract to extend for 1 more year.
I'm not sure. I'd have to check that.
I think I've heard that. Anyway, we'll move on. I'm pretty sure I've heard that yesterday. But we've got a new player up now. Florian Grilic.
Grilic. I'm not sure how we're supposed to say that either. So for any long-standing viewers of the Toon review, you will know that this is a player that I've liked for quite a long time. The very first transfer window I did when I joined the Toon review, I was touting this guy to come to the club. I thought he was, this was before we got Bruno. I wanted this guy to come in. Obviously, we'd got issues with, I think Hayden was injured at that point. And we weren't sure. We trialed Willock and Longstaff as a double pivot. Shelvey I think he was coming back from injury at that point. I can't remember exactly. And yeah, we needed somebody in that midfield role. Obviously, we went for Bruno in the end, but I really wanted Grealish because he was on an end of contract back then, and now his contract has expired. Then again, at Ajax, he's not got a whole lot of minutes this season. Unfortunately, we've got no graphics for him because he's not played enough minutes. But he's trained with Ajax all year, which is a very high caliber club to be training with for a full season. He's nearly 28 now, so it might possibly be a bit too far. I don't know. But 6'1", physical, not overly fast. He's a bit more of a lump. However, he's very, very tidy on the ball in possession. He's more of a defensive midfielder, can also slot in at centre half. So he's quite versatile in that regard. If nobody really picks him up, I wouldn't mind if we went for this guy on a 2 or 3 year deal just for extra cover. I just think he's really, really solid and versatile. Obviously, we're not going to use players like Hayden and Hendrick. They're all going to disappear. So I feel like we had a lot of games this season. How many match previews did we go, oh God, the midfield. I just don't think it hurts to have additional cover. I don't think he would command a lot of like a high wage. I think he's very, very experienced. If we scroll down and have a look at his career, he was at Hoffenheim for a long time. A lot of minutes in the Bundesliga. He's also, if we go and have a look at his transfer marks, 30. Thank you, Vinicius. Yeah, 35 caps for Austria is no joke. He's been involved with the Austria setup for most of his life. And as you can see there, sort of centre back, defensive midfield, really, really versatile. It's nice and tall and physical. Maybe lacking that mobility to do that sort of pressing potentially, but who knows? He's if Ajax took him, then he's obviously good technically and of a good enough level. I wouldn't mind him. I like him, but I'm a bit biased because I liked him sort of a couple of years ago when he was available. It doesn't mean he's still an appropriate signing now. Possibly not, but he's an enormous upgrade on players like Isaac Hayden and Jeff Hendrick and obviously Matty Longstaff's going out. So we're going to need a bit more cover. We can't just go and sign sort of attacking midfielders. I still think we could do with a bit more cover in that deeper role. And the fact that this guy can also double up as a centre half, I think, is invaluable when you consider that it's the right side is Cher and then Lascelles. So could be useful.
Could be useful indeed. He looks a decent player. 27. It's just one of them players I think will just do the job for now and then find replacements in the next few years. Just do the job. Tom's is here. Never fear, Jack. I'm sure you'll get your shirt by the FA Cup third round. Oh, well, Matt says here, wow, I got my shirt today, ordered it on Sunday, and I live in Norway. It's awesome, by the way. That's exactly... To be fair, though, Matt, where have you ordered it? Have you ordered it on the Newcastle site? No way you got it before me and you live in Norway. There's just no way. I'm a bit confused by that because I ordered it on the same bloody day and I ain't got mine yet. Jesus Christ.
I'm trying to look at mine now.
I need to check mine. Bloody hell. When's the bloody shirt coming? Oh, I just want that shirt now. I'm trying to wear it. Anyway, the poop images. He looks good these days when he plays, to be fair, says Clarkey. It was on the site on Saturday before the shop opened. Right. Let's just get Madsen in now before other clubs make serious offer to Leicester. I think it would fit in the Great North squad. But it's, you can say that, but it's not that easy to sign players. It's not that easy. You can't just... Boom, Madsen. It's not that easy.
You've got to remember as well, by the way, is we are shopping in a very different pond now, and a lot of people are panicking, saying we really need to get early signings in. If a lot of the bigger clubs panic and do a lot of early business and throw money around, there's a ton of talent available this window. So much talent, and we could then swoop in and just pick someone up for a nice, reasonable fee because a lot of clubs have blown their load too early and they've got no money left. Like if Arsenal, Man United, Bayern, Barca, well, I don't think Barca are going to be signing anybody, but if all of these clubs go and buy a bunch of impressive midfielders in the first 2 weeks of the transfer window, and let's say Szoboszlai's not been picked up or Madison's still floating around, if they've gone for a bunch of different options, we might just be able to go, okay, well, we're just going to we'll drop a £37 million bid in, take it or leave it. We might be able to do some real good business. It just depends. So it's not always a bad thing. Sometimes it can be great to get your business done early because obviously we'd love the players to have a full pre-season with Eddie Howe and the guys. It's beneficial because of the way we play as well, but it's not always a bad thing. We'll wait and see.
Wait and see. Morella NUFC says, Grilich, don't want anyone described by Alex as a lump. A lump? I don't know what you mean by a lump. Do you mean he's just like big and stocky?
It's because he's not quite as mobile. Yeah, but Sean Longstaff's a bit of a lump, but we like him. He works very, very hard. He's got good qualities. He's just missing that technical ability. Whereas Grealish has got more technical quality than Longstaff. I think he's a much cleaner passer of the ball and can fill in at centre half. It's just a different profile. You know, to be picked up by Ajax, you've got to be a good player. So regardless of the fact he only made about 500 minutes, but even so, you've still got to be decent if Ajax want you.
Let me just scroll down to see what people think of Spain 1-0 up against Italy. Pino 3 minutes. Is Thingy starting in that game? Is he starting in that game? He is. Barella is starting in that game. So that's very interesting. So after this live, I think I'll pop into the game and see what see how he's doing. Please don't get injured. Please don't get injured, just in case. Let's get Madsen done. Throw the kitchen sink at Barella and pick up a left back. Yet again, easier said than done. Easier said than done. Just wait, be patient, and signs will come our way. Because no doubt in my mind, Dan Ashworth will be on it like a carb on it to get the signings in for the summer. My shirt is on its way. I also live in Norway. Jeez, how many people live in Norway getting Newcastle shirts? Bloody hell. Alex, are we linked to any centre backs we need to cover for Share and Botman? Well, I think Alex just talked about a centre back to cover for Share. Any new ones, Alex?
For who? What are we looking at?
Any new centre back links? Says that she.
Centre half links recently. I mean, we spoke about Simikan, the Leipzig defender, the French one who was linked by The Guardian. We spoke about him on a transfer show a couple of days ago. And then beyond that, we got linked with Maguire again, but we haven't reviewed him because I don't want to. And we've reviewed Maguire before. So I think there was some stories about a loan move and it is what it is. If it picks up any more traction, then we'll have to take it seriously and review him again. But I'll put that off until I absolutely have to type in Harry Maguire anywhere in my computer. Yeah, as well with some of these transfer shows, I think what I'm going to do, I've chatted to Paul about this in the past, is I think I need to make a note of who we've reviewed in the show, and then we can put this in the description or somewhere. We can link it. We might even put it on the website somewhere, so that if you guys do want to go back and have a look at certain shows, for if a name suddenly pops up, we can go, oh well, we've reviewed him in this show. You can go and have a look. So we will look at working that out when we can. So you guys have got that available.
Right. We've got a new player now to take a look at, and just to go through a few more little comments just before we get on to the new one. Maybe Barella could fake a serious injury so we can get him cheap. And greetings from Norway. Greetings from Clarky. Doesn't live in Norway. No way. Clarky lives in Norway. Is that a no? Looks like an interesting no. Looks like a very interesting note at the end there. Anyway, Dan Burn is mainly a left centre back anyway, so we can provide cover. This is why.
I mean, he's not, mate. He played like 36 games at left back, so I think I agree profile wise, but I mean he's not anymore. I think we've just got to accept it. He's technically a left back. He's played one game at centre half this year, but the rest of them were all left back.
I mean, why is he saying low fuzzy?
I don't know.
So, okay. A low fuzzy. We'll move on. Bigger balls get you places. Okay, Mary, we're going to move on from that. Like clicked, says Geordie Boy. Even everyone in the chat, even to you, Tony. Have to start a Norwegian branch of TTR, says Marius. Indeed. Norway is the way to go, to be honest. Norway is the way to go. Yeah, fuzzy hacks.
You're only on 187, guys. We've got over 500 watching, and yeah. Come on, can we have some more likes, please, guys?
530 watching, guys. Make sure you click hit that subscribe button. Absolutely.
We'll make the last one an exciting one.
Yeah, last one we'll make an exciting one, says Alex. Indeed, we will. But the subscriptions, the likes mean so much to this channel. Subscriptions, we're now on the road to 21,000, then even more. Notification bell, you'll be notified whenever we go live or post a video. Like button, just more important than you think, guys. When you like that button, YouTube then knows that you've liked the live streams. Then it recommends it to more viewers. So then more viewers who don't know the channel can just find our channel that little bit easier, and it'll be near the top of the recommendation pages. So it's absolutely crucial to press that like button. As I said, 527 watching. Click that like button. It's so important. And also there's Paul's email down the comment down in the description as well, and social links as well. So go follow them as well. Right, let's move on to the I think this is who I think it is, Reece Nelson, Joe Willock's buddy. Yeah,
so Arsenal, obviously, we had a few little hiccups with them recently. I think it was I can never get his name right. Is it Maitland Miles or Maitland Niles? I can never remember which way around you're supposed to say that. Whichever way it is, I think there was obviously that little spat where we wanted to loan him, and we also looked at a few players from Chelsea, and everybody just went, "No, we're not loaning to you, sorry." So we never ended up getting anyone. However, Arsenal may not have a say in this unless they extend his contract or he goes anywhere else. It looks like he might possibly be available. He's born in Elephant and Castle. I don't know where that is. Is that in London?
London. Yeah,
Sounds
London.
like a pub. So I don't think he's earmarked for anywhere else. I haven't heard anything as far as I'm aware. I'm pretty sure he's still technically available. So the wages are really tidy. 15k. You know, we could definitely give that a little double or a triple there with sort of no issues. Obviously, he's good friends with Joe Willock. We've got a lot of English lads still in the starting lineup and in the squad that he would know from sort of whether it's youth level, like he might even know Anthony Gordon possibly. So not got that many minutes this year. He's played enough to get some graphics because it's, you know, his combined Premier League minutes with his Europa League minutes have given us a bit of data. So 3 goals and 2 assists in the Premier League is pretty mental for only 200 minutes. That's pretty crazy. It's an insane return there. Still 23 years old. We know he's sort of a wide forward, versatile, much like Willock was back in the day. You're not quite sure where he's going to end up. I think we've kind of started to figure out where Willock is best in that attacking midfield / winger kind of role. Reece Nelson very much the same, maybe even a bit more further forward. So let's get down to business and have a look at the important bits. So, I mean, that is mental, but let me add some context. It's from like 400 minutes. So please, you know, let's not run away with this. Let's not get carried away. It's not messy. It's that he's had of the 400 odd minutes he's played, he's done very well in those minutes. It's a small sample size. So look, 510 minutes. So it is a very small sample size. However, we can only analyze what we've got in front of us, you know, and he's done rather well. So the progressive carries are insane in this regard, and take-ons, the take-on success rate is through the roof. The passes are real tidy. He's taken nearly 3.5 shots per 90, which is crazy high volume, creating shot creating actions for his teammates. It's just ridiculous. Really good. And then if we look at who he profiles like, you've got that. I mean, that's insane. Kvaratskhelia, Saka, Koeman, Rodrigo Martinelli, Mitoma, Vinicius Junior, Foden, Gnabry, and Leroy Sané. Yes, I had to read out all 10 because that is just bonkers. But we do have to take this with a pinch of salt. It's not from too many minutes, but you know, I feel like anybody who's been playing in this Arsenal system, I don't feel like would have a difficult transitional period being able to play in our system. They play variations of a 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3s. They've played with funny asymmetrical shapes, inverted fullbacks. They've done different bits and bobs, not too dissimilar to what we've done tactically. I think the demands would be fairly similar. He'd be a real tidy, versatile young player who would be incredible. I think I've brought up his transfer marked. We can. He go 12 caps at under 21 level and 6 goals. So if we have a little look, so rumours, you got Arsenal potentially for obviously re-signing, AC Milan, Brighton, Fulham, West Ham. So there's a bunch of names in the hat there. You can see versatile according to Transfermarkt. Lots of appearances at youth level for England. Player agent is relatives. So really difficult to gauge this one. Hard to know if it'd be a good signing. I don't see why not. It's very much like an Anthony Gordon sort of, in terms of you can see there's a good player in there. He ticks all the boxes technically, physically, age. He's been training with a good team. I mean, he's free. Wages aren't too bad. I'd be happy for us to throw our name in the hat for this one. I really would. I don't see why not.
He's a decent player, and he'd definitely get along well with Joe Willock. Best mates, him, Saka, Reece Nelson, Jadon Sancho, of course. Very good mates from London. But I've just typed up Elephant and Castle in South London, and it is literally there's an actual elephant with a castle on top. I'm not joking. People, if you type up Elephant and Castle London, there is literally a statue of an elephant with a castle on top. I am not joking, but it is in South London, so it is in London. Indeed, it is. But very, very interesting. 1-1 Immobile Pent as Phoenix Fire, so it is 1-1. Reportedly, is it 1-1? Indeed, it is. It is 1-1. I'd take Reece. He's fantastic. Ash hasn't Reece Nelson not just signed a new deal? Not as I've seen. I don't think Alex.
I mean, he might have done, unless I've missed it. I mean, this was on mine and Billy's list from like a day and a half ago. So unless he signed a new deal in between us doing the show, I mean, we can have a look.
No, he hasn't. No, I don't see a new deal.
Possibly. I mean, there's rumours that he's expected to sign a new contract when he gets back from his vacation. There's rumours that it's going to be till 2027, 100K a week. Maybe they might re-sign him. It's very possible. Romano said as well, new long-term deal almost agreed, but it's about final details. So it's not confirmed yet. Although Romano has said they've reached full agreement. Player agreed verbally. I mean, maybe. We'll see.
Was that a bit of scouse there, Alex?
Yeah, of course.
Accents in the Toon review.
It does look like this has got sort of an Arsenal re-sign all over it, a bit like an Nketiah. I think they would be silly to let him go. I'd imagine he's probably homegrown at club as well. I don't know why they would let him go. He'd be one that they either commit to giving minutes to next season in their Champions League fixtures and everything, or they loan him back out. They need to pick a lane. But yeah, maybe he'll stay on at Arsenal. It looks like it's probably there, and unless they get any, or the player himself gets any really interesting inquiries while he's away on holiday, like interimly, who knows?
Indeed. Like you said, Alex, they'd be stupid to let go of Reece Nelson. The thing he did last season, that winner against Bournemouth, Jesus Christ. I mean, he's one for the big occasions, Reece Nelson, and he's definitely a good player. Spacebar says here, Nelson has agreed a new contract with Arsenal. Not official yet, though. Not official.
I mean, I can't see that it's done. It looks like that there's a verbal agreement and that he's expected to be there. We got 14. What I'd say is Reece Nelson.
Yeah, a lot of people saying he has agreed. So
is it 100% done?
It's not on Arsenal's site. It's not on Arsenal's Twitter or anything like that. So Arsenal haven't announced anything. So no, it's not. Maybe, yeah, like Alex said, maybe a verbal agreement, but nothing's been fully agreed. So not as of right now. Maybe there has been a little verbal agreement. Anyway,
so it's probably 99% done, but it's not official yet, I don't think. So, you know, and we'll apply the same rules on this channel that we do to other things. Until we hear signings for us, it's the same for other clubs. Like, you never know. If somebody goes in and offers to increase his wages and this, that, and the other, you never know. If he's not signed on the dotted line yet, then
It was all over Sky Sports about 2 weeks ago. It's a spacebar. I've not
Well,
seen
not that
it.
he's officially signed. It's that it's verbally agreed. They've offered him a contract and it's verbal. If he's not signed an official contract, and if Arsenal haven't announced it themselves,
Rumours should never be listened to, as Gossip Gate is always rife. Always listen to the person concerned, not third parties, says Mary. Internationals are no excuse, says Fuzzy Hacks. Should do it before like others do. Real with Bellingham, Liverpool with McAllister, etc., etc. 100% Mary, says Julie J. 2-1 Italy. 2-1 Italy, apparently. And it's Fratesi. Italy can be good sometimes, but they can be very bad sometimes as well. They're a bit here and there. Italy. Jack, that really wasn't meant for you, mates.
I don't know what he's on about. I'm scrolling back through the Arsenal Twitter.
Jack, that really wasn't meant for you, mate. I don't know what you mean by that, Predator. Please let me know. No, it's done. Milan wouldn't be trying to sign him if Nelson signed a new deal. Well,
I'm back to June. I've scrolled all the way back to June the 5th on. Yeah, I mean, they posted something about him on June the 4th about his last-minute strike against Bournemouth as won Premier League's Game Changer of the Season award. But, there's nothing confirmed, not from the club anyway. It may be 99% done, but it's not 100% done. So it is what it is.
Hey, Alex, you got a little announcement about tomorrow's show. Would you care to take it away?
Yeah, well, I've just asked Paul if we can do a watch along for the England game tomorrow. Of course, people know that I am mad about England. I hate Southgate. I think he's a terrible manager. He's a great man manager, but a terrible tactician. And I hate the fact that we're playing such defensive football when we've got some of the best attacking talent in the world. Harry Kane, obviously, despite the fact system-wise isn't great, puts 30-odd goals up a season. You've got Jude Bellingham, who is literally the Galactico signing of this year for Real Madrid. Like some of the caliber of players we've got in this England setup, and we play awful football. It's embarrassing. But even so, I will still be supporting the Three Lions tomorrow. So please come back and support. Even if obviously we've got a few people from around the world here. We've got some people from Norway. We've got viewers from all over the globe. But please do come and watch the watch along as well, because we'll be keeping an eye on some of our NUFC stars. We'll see if Wilson gets any minutes and Trippier gets any minutes. And we may or may not be able to assess Maddison and maybe players that we're even linked with. So who knows? It could be good. So tomorrow for the England watch along.
So set your alarms tomorrow. What time is the match versus Malta? Is it 8 o'clock?
It's like 7:45, I think, something like that. So it'll be sort of around just before kickoff. We'll go live, like maybe 15 minutes before, half an hour before.
7:45 is the kickoff tomorrow at Malta. That could be a 9-0, that one. That could, Malta, I didn't really know they had a national football side, if I'm being honest. I didn't really know they had a national football side, Malta. I thought Malta was just a nice holiday destination. Sorry?
Bless you. They do drive on the left over there. They know which side of the road to drive on. It is the correct side, which is, of course, the left for anybody who doesn't drive on the left.
But do you know much about Malta as a football side? I don't know.
No, to be honest with you, I think it's one of those teams where maybe not now, but possibly 10 or 15 years ago, half of their squad were part-time players and they would have other occupations. I think now it's a bit different. They're likely to play in, they would all be in professional leagues, I would imagine.
Should do Brazil watch along to see Big Joe. But thing is, Reese, the viewers, this channel needs viewers in doing live streams. And I don't think the Brazil one would get viewers, if I'm being honest. We can have a chat about it. We can see if we get a few views from it. Brasilia.
If there's anything at the weekend, who knows? But probably
Saturday 17th.
Maybe. 8:30. I mean, if there's a call for it, if you guys can put in the chat, maybe when we do the England watch along tomorrow, we'll do a poll if people would like to come back to watch if they want us to do a Brazil watch along on the Saturday, do a poll. Obviously it's Paul's decision, so we'll see what happens.
we will see what happens. But there you go, everyone. That is it. That is your transfer show for today, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining in. You guys have been brilliant in the chat. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Big thank you to everyone who subscribes. Just takes a second 90 days. Completely free. If you want to become a member, you can click the join button. It'll take you through a payment method, and then you can become a member of the channel. And welcome to the members club. Social links down below as well, everyone. Paul's email as well. If you want to email anything, make sure to like as well. It just shows YouTube that you've actually liked the video, or not the live stream. Then they can recommend it to more viewers. Before we go, everyone, Daisy, I never forget. Old or new, Alex? You have the choice today.
We'll go with old. Why not?
We'll go old. Go on. Cow emojis galore. Daisy burger time, says Tom. Jesus Christ, how many burger emojis? But there you go, everyone. Thank you guys for joining so much. We'll see you possibly tomorrow. We will see you tomorrow for the England watch along. Make sure to stay tuned for that, everyone. Notification bell. You'll stay tuned for when we go live for that. Thank you, everyone. Big thank you to Alex as well. And we'll see you later. Howie the lads. If I can find the outro. Where's the outro?
Come back and check out the green.